Welcome to English Language Academy, The Fox and the Grapes, English Story. Once upon a time, in a lush green forest surrounded by mountains and streams, there lived a clever yet slightly vain fox named Felix. Felix was known throughout the forest for his intelligence and his quick wit. He often prided himself on being able to solve puzzles and overcome obstacles that others couldn't. But Felix had one weakness. He could sometimes be too proud to admit when something was beyond his reach. One bright and sunny morning, Felix woke up feeling especially hungry. His stomach growled like a thunderstorm, reminding him that he had skipped his meal the night before. Determined to find something delicious to eat, Felix set off on a journey through the forest. He trotted past tall trees, chirping birds, and scampering squirrels, his nose twitching in search of food. After wandering for a while, Felix stumbled upon a vineyard on the edge of the forest. It was a magnificent sight. Rows of grapevines stretched as far as the eye could see, and hanging from the vines were clusters of ripe, juicy grapes. They were a deep purple, glistening in the sunlight, and they looked absolutely mouth-watering. Felix's eyes lit up with excitement. "Ah, these grapes look perfect," he exclaimed. "Just what I need to satisfy my hunger." But there was one problem. The grapes were hanging high up on the vines, far beyond Felix's reach. He glanced around, hoping to find something he could use to climb or knock the grapes down, but there was nothing useful nearby. Felix wasn't one to give up easily. "I'm a clever fox," he told himself. "Surely I can find a way to get those grapes." He decided to try jumping for them. Felix backed up a few steps, crouched low, and leaped as high as he could. His paws stretched out toward the grapes, but he missed by a good few inches. Determined, he tried again, this time running even faster before jumping. But no matter how hard he tried, the grapes remained just out of reach. Felix paused to catch his breath, his chest heaving from the effort. "Maybe I need to approach this differently," he thought. He began to explore the area around the vineyard, looking for anything that could help him reach the grapes. He tried stacking rocks to make a small platform, but the rocks kept tumbling down. He even tried using a long stick to poke at the grapes, but the stick wasn't long enough. As the sun climbed higher in the sky, Felix grew increasingly frustrated. His stomach continued to grumble, and his pride was beginning to take a hit. How could he, the cleverest fox in the forest, fail at something as simple as getting a bunch of grapes? Finally, Felix sat down beneath the grapevine, glaring up at the tempting fruit. He knew he had tried everything he could think of, but the grapes were still out of reach. After a moment of silence, Felix stood up, brushed the dirt off his fur, and said aloud, "These grapes are probably sour anyway. I wouldn't want them even if I could reach them." With that, Felix turned and walked away, his tail swishing behind him. Deep down, he knew the grapes weren't sour, but it was easier to pretend he didn't want them than to admit defeat. As Felix made his way back into the forest, he tried to focus on finding other food. Along the way, he came across a patch of wild berries growing near a stream. They weren't as grand as the grapes, but they were sweet and satisfying. Felix ate his fill and quenched his thirst with the cool water from the stream. While he enjoyed his meal, Felix reflected on the day's events. "Maybe I should learn to accept that not everything is within my reach," he thought. "It's okay to fail sometimes, as long as I don't let it stop me from trying again in the future." From that day on, Felix continued to explore the forest and solve challenges, but he also learned to be a little more humble. And though he never did taste the grapes from the vineyard, he found plenty of other adventures and delicious meals to keep him happy. The forest remained alive with stories of Felix's cleverness, and the tale of the fox and the grapes became a favorite among the animals. It was a reminder to all that sometimes it's okay to let go of what you can't have and focus on the good things that are within your reach. The end. Thanks for watching English Language Academy. Subscribe now.